take the best day that you've ever lived, but times it by infinity, and that's what dying is like. There's a lot of laughter. I don't know if he was making a joke. I think that he was like, where do you think you got that from? That came from me. I saw, God showed me where a generational curse had started in my family, and it was a generational curse of lust and divorce. God 100% wanted me. He reached for me a lot. He chased after me, he really did. I just didn't reciprocate it out of my own anger or my own worldliness. I felt his hurt because I didn't want him back. And he sacrificed so much for me, and I felt that. And I felt sorry. So I'm learning the ramifications of what happens when you do that, and that was hard. Yeah, so I knew, I was coming to the conclusion, like, okay, this is dying. This is what the dying is like. The ambulance showed up pretty quickly from my point of view. It seemed like right away. And they loaded me up and they put me in the back of the ambulance. And when they did that, they shut the doors. And as soon as they shut the doors, boom, I'm over my body. And I realized pretty quickly, like, oh, that's me. This is happening. It was a very weird feeling because I knew that was me, but I also was detaching from who that was.
The body?
The body, yeah. It was like
because you were still yourself?
Yeah, I was still me, but I also am looking at me and it's like, okay, I know that that's supposed to be me, but I'm here. So what's, just a detachment feeling like, okay, and I'm still making that noise, that sound.
Your physical body of the trying to get air.
Yeah.
But that's important, I think, because you were free at that point. Your body was still
suffering,
struggling, but the Lord had already taken you
exactly
out of your body.
And that wasn't something I thought. I just went from being in the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life to nothing. Like it was a really weird.
What were you feeling?
At that moment, I just remember the pain was not there. That was the biggest thing in my mind.
So much pain.
It was so painful, unbearably painful, and panicky because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. To
being able to breathe, I mean, it was almost like a relief feeling. I remember it being like, oh gosh, like I could breathe again, And so as I kind of started to, my thoughts were like really realizing what was going on, I realized like, okay, I'm dying. My body's here. I'm not hurting. Shortly after that, I start to ascend into what looked to me like a hole in the sky.
A hole in the sky?
That's what it looked like to me, was just a hole, and light was coming out of the hole. But it looked like a hole. It wasn't a dark hole. It was a light.
Was it big?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it wasn't huge, but it was big enough. To me, it looked big, but then the closer I got, it kind of got, more narrow. But it was really, the light was beautiful, even the light that was coming out of this hole. And I was enamored by it. I remember wanting to go towards the hole, and but also being present that my body was here, but I was being drawn, in other words, to somewhere else.
Did you know where?
No. I had no idea. At that moment, I had no idea what it was really weird because I was living in the moment so much, but I was also definitely processing.
You're still yourself.
I'm still
You're
myself.
Still thinking.
Yes, exactly. I'm processing, but I'm like, is this really happening? Like, this is happening. And I'm so sure that it's happening, but it's unbelievable that it's happening, even as you're experiencing it.
It wasn't like a dream or...
No, it's very clear, very vivid. I'm more sure that happened to me than I am sitting here with you today. That's how real it is. Yeah. It's way more aware, way more, I don't know what the word is, just awake. You're fully awake. It's like you were asleep and you're fully being awakened, is what it feels like.
When you're on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Or even just traveling to the other side. Once you are like, the way that it feels is it's like you felt like you had this heaviness, and when you shed your body, you're like fully awakened. It was like your body was like a cap. You could only, I don't know, it was just the weirdest feeling. It was like
constrained.
Constrained, yeah. That's what your body feels like.
And now you're free.
Yep. And so I'm starting to travel to this, what looks like to me a hole in the sky. And I start really, as soon as I start like truly ascending, I realize, oh, God is real. This is where I'm going. And that was one of the first realizations after my body and my spirit separate is, oh, this is God's world. This is what I've heard about. This is real. Earth isn't it. That was one of the first, it was like God made himself very known to me almost right away. As I'm now
you're knowing
I'm knowing
God is real.
Whoa, okay.
How did you know that?
I don't know. It's just hard to explain. The best way I can tell you is it was like God put a USB drive in me and showed me things and revealed not just himself, but a lot of truths that are to come.
So as you're traveling through this
just being
tunnel,
like
it's like a tunnel of light.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just,
and you're just getting this download of information, of knowledge.
Yep. I'm being shown visions. I'm being shown, because this is the weird thing. When I'm being shown these things, till this day, it felt so real to me. It's hard to know if that is, it doesn't, my worldly mind says, okay, you can't be in two places at once, but God was showing me things where I'm two places at once. I'm ascending. So this whole time I'm ascending, but I'm also having these experiences. For instance, God showed me really just that Jesus is real, is what I believe he wanted me to know, is that this is about me. Jesus walked on earth. He had his time. He's your savior. That was just, I got these, and it probably doesn't make any sense to you, but he showed me bread. I knew that he was the reason, I guess, that I'm getting to experience these things.
That's why you're getting to go there.
Mm-hmm. So he started out with that. He's like, first off, this is me interpreting it, but he's like, the reason why you're able to do this is because Jesus did this for you.
It's interesting because Jesus said, I'm the bread of life.
My gosh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if
I don't know. It's, I'm still I'm still processing everything that has happened. I'm still trying to figure out, some of it, what it all means, because a lot of it is like, I don't know why he showed me that. That's just what he showed me.
And was that a new idea that Jesus actually lived on earth?
To me, yeah. I had no idea. That's how I really knew nothing. I would even go to say I didn't even know that Jesus, I knew the name, but I knew nothing about anything. I just, anytime it really got brought up, I just strayed away from it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what I felt about it. I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to learn about it. I didn't know anything. That's the truth. I just knew nothing. And so how can you know where you stand with something that you know nothing about? And so I don't know if I would say I was a non-believer, but I definitely wasn't a believer. I was just kind of
indifferent,
yeah. I just didn't know, and I didn't care to know. They
Other
had so much
like
purpose in that. Like they were doing it for God. For whatever reason, God needed this thing, and they were getting it. But it was fun, and it was purposeful. And yeah, there was just so many enlightening little things like that. Like if you like fall, you can live in a place where there's fall. It's like one street over, it's winter. One street over, whatever.
You saw that?
Yeah. I just saw different
seasons, like locations of different seasons.
But all the time.
And is this a city, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, I am in it. Everything there was, the colors of everything was like out of this world. Nothing I've ever seen. It was so beautiful. But it looked like Earth, but just more beautiful. I didn't see a lot of buildings, but I got the feeling that I was I was somewhere that he wanted me to see. But it wasn't, I didn't see, when I'm talking about like the fields and the people, there wasn't any buildings at that point. There was just people living in a beautiful, what looked like a beautiful earth to me, but was more beautiful. I just remember it was like, this is so much like, it feels like Earth, just better and bigger and more beautiful. And I didn't expect that. I don't know what I thought. I don't even know if I ever thought about it, but I do remember still, I'm like, it was so much like this, but better. But I will say he also showed me an experience or an image of a wall that was as high up as I could see and as far as I could see. And it was see-through, but I couldn't really see. It was translucent.
The wall was translucent?
Kind of, yeah. It was kind of translucent, but it had jewels. Like every diamond or ruby or like gem that you could think of, but maybe even some that don't exist, were on this wall. It was amazing. It had gold elements to it, but it was kind of translucent looking. I know. You're like trying to follow me.
No,
it was amazing.
No, because
it was unreal, John. It was like holy.
And did you have a sense of where you were?
Yeah, I mean, I knew.
Like what that wall was?
I didn't really know because I didn't see a gate.
And no significance to it?
Not really. I mean, I just remember looking at it and being like, this is a barrier. That's what I remember thinking. This is a barrier. It's a beautiful barrier, but it's a barrier. I didn't see any way in or out. You
didn't see a gate or a archway or anything like that?
Nope, just the wall.
But these gemstones in this wall. And did the wall, was it solid?
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
Like made of rock, or what was it made of?
I don't know. I'd never seen anything like what this was. But every detail on it, like, I don't know, you could just tell it was perfect, which nothing is ever perfect, but this was perfect. Like, just the way that it was made was perfect, and whatever it was made of was perfect. It was magical.
So when you told me about this, I asked you, have you ever read Revelation chapter 21? Yeah, and you said
No,
you hadn't.
I haven't.
And
I still haven't. I mean,
yeah, so I want to read it, because you're describing the wall of the holy city of God.
mm-hmm.
And that's what John saw when Jesus took him into heaven. And he's up on a very high mountain looking down, but he's describing the wall around the city, and there are 12 gates, but they're really more like archways.
Yeah.
With like this pearlescent material in them. That's
a great pearl. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I can see it.
Yeah. So here's what John says, because he's trying to describe, I think, the same wall.
Mm-hmm.
He says, the wall was made of jasper, and the city was pure gold, as clear as glass.
What the heck?
You had never read that?
No, never.
That's exactly what you were trying to describe.
Yeah.
The wall of the city was built on foundation stones inlaid with 12 precious stones: jasper, sapphire, agate, emerald, onyx, carnelian, chrysolite, beryl, topaz. I can't even say that one.
Yeah.
Jacinth, amethyst. The 12 gates were made of pearl, each a single pearl, and the main street was gold as clear as glass.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like iridescent. Is that the right word? It's like,
I don't know,
but that sounds exactly like it.
But it's
But I didn't see any gates. I was just.
But maybe that's why you felt that wall was a barrier at that point.
Yeah.
Because it is the entrance into the holy city. It's the wall around. And it says, the angel measured it in Revelation 21, it says it's 1,400 miles long in a square and 1,400 miles high.
It was as high and as long as I could see from where, but I was also standing like flesh. I mean, I was standing
close.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I was, I couldn't touch it, but I was like, my feet in the beginning of the wall were at the same level.
Oh, okay.
So it was very gigantuous to me. Yeah. I was like, whoa, this is a barrier. And he showed me how my death affected my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister. My 2 younger brothers, they're still children at that point, so maybe they just hadn't. But he showed me those people, and he showed me how my death affected the rest of their life.
So this is kind of a flash forward?
Mm-hmm. So a flash back and a flash forward.
Okay.
And he shows me that my mom was very angry. My death made her very angry and how that affected her. He showed me that my dad turned to unhealthy coping. You know, he was still a hard worker and things, but he would turn to alcohol to cope. And then he showed me how me passing actually stunted the spiritual growth of my brother and my sister. Mm. And knowing all of that, I looked at them like they were children. I was like,
what do you mean?
I was like, if only you knew. I understand that this is going to hurt you. This is how I felt about it. I understand that this is going to hurt you, but you have no idea what's awaiting, and this is going to be awesome. I had already come to that conclusion. As soon as he revealed that he was real to me, I I knew, I just had this hope that I just knew something amazing was coming. And so as I'm having this life review, I look at people on earth and my family like their children. I'm like, you just don't get it, but you will, because you're going to be with me soon. I knew their sadness. I felt their sadness. I felt things that they were going to experience. I was so aware, but also it was such a higher understanding that you're like, but I'm not going to suffer there with you. Like, if you knew what's waiting, you wouldn't be sad. You wouldn't let that affect you that way. You wouldn't stunt your life. You wouldn't let these things prevent you from growing. You would know God and have hope for the future.
So this is fascinating, because you didn't know God, and now you're like thinking,
I know all these things.
You'll know God. It'll be great.
It'll be great. We're going to live together. It's amazing. It was amazing. And he answered my question, because I'd always wondered, why would you let people die? And I realized he showed me that the way that we die, we're not there for. My body is having its own journey, still suffering. At some point I do believe that my heart stopped in the back of that ambulance, but my body was going through one thing and I'm going through a completely different experience. That's amazing. I mean, the best day of my life, the best experience I've ever experienced in my whole life.
And
I've just been shown this magnificent wall. I just know that it's resembling a barrier, and then I'm back and I'm ascending and I'm getting a lot closer to what looks to me like this hole in the sky, and it's beaming light. And I'm ecstatic. I'm pumped. I'm starting to realize that I'm getting closer to the destination that was headed to. And I'm really excited. In fact, I remember being like, let's go. Like, I know all this stuff. God is real. Heaven is real. Life didn't just end. My life's just beginning. And I don't have to suffer. And my life, like, everything's amazing. Joy, happiness. I mean, all the most beautiful emotions times infinity you're experiencing. And the closer that I'm getting, the
is it closer to the end of this journey,
this yeah,
tunnel or whatever you're in?
It's getting stronger. Like, the intensity of love and
is increasing.
It's increasing. Yeah, it's like.
Did you think, like, I'm going to heaven?
I don't know if I even thought of that. I think I just realized I was coming to my destination. But the feeling, the pouring into me that I felt, like, just love and acceptance and truth and happiness and laughter and, I mean, just the most peace and holiness. Like, it just was intense, but like infectious. Like, I just wanted more. I was so excited. I understood what I was leaving behind, and I was okay with it. And my eyes were, let's go.
Straight ahead.
Yeah, I get it, and I hate that. I hate what I'm leaving behind, but I can't go back there. That's what I felt. I can't. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back there. And I go through this light, and it's real bright when I go through it. And it wasn't the kind of bright that hurts your eyes. When you stare at the sun, you're like, It wasn't that kind of bright. It was like a beautiful magnet type of bright. It was like engulfed you and embraced you, and it felt warm and loving, and I don't know, it was beautiful. And it was just, this light was like, no words, really, like no words to exist that
So
really
you're
do it
now
justice.
out of this tunnel or whatever you're traveling in.
Or I'm like, yeah, going through it.
Oh, going through it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, have you stopped moving now, or
no,
are you still?
not
You're
yet.
still going. Okay.
So as I'm approaching what seems to be like the bigger gist of this light, the emotions are getting just so intense, and I'm so excited. And then I go through this light, and all of a sudden I'm in this space. I don't know, there was nothing there, but it was a space. And the first thing I did, I mean, aside from seeing I'm just in this like white light, I'm in the light. Like that probably sounds really cliche, but that's what it felt like.
That's where you were.
Yeah. I'm in the light, and I looked down, and I noticed that my body was still my body, but my skin was like kind of see-through-ish, kind of, but it was still my skin, but it was a little like transparent looking kind of. But then I noticed I have a scar on my leg, and it's all the way across my leg. And the scar was gone.
You noticed that?
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like,
interesting.
the scar's gone. And then I'm kind of just taking it all in, like, okay, well, what now, you know? But there was such a hope for the future. I was so excited. It was like, I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know what was going to happen. But I was excited for whatever was about to happen. Yeah, I don't know if that made any sense, but that's what it felt like. And so I was just excited. And then all of a sudden, another light is coming from above me now. Instead of me going to the light, this light opens up and it starts coming to me.
What did that look like? It looked different than the light all around you?
Yeah, it was different. It was like this new light came from somewhere different than where I was at. And as it got closer to me, it was similar in the sense of like the lights beamed off of it, and even just like being in the presence of this light, I could feel, I don't know, love, like radiating more from this light that was coming down. And as it got closer, I mean, it had more, it's like I was in this white space light, but this light was like a sunset, but way more beautiful than any sunset. But it was getting closer to me, and it was like being able to be close to a sunset, but it was just more beautiful.
Like the sun?
Yeah, yes.
But not blinding, not hard to look at?
Right, exactly. And it was above me. And as it got closer, I saw a silhouette of what I believe was God. And
looking like what?
It was just an outline of what looked like a person. But it was, the light was, I couldn't see any features. It was just an outline of what looked like a person to me, a very massive person, but just looked like an outline of something.
Because it like was silhouetted against the light, or?
It was like, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if it was this and the light was, or if the light was coming off of, I don't know. But I could only see the outline of what I believe was God.
A person.
Mm-hmm. And
you think that was Jesus, or?
I think so. I'm not, it was God, whether it was.
You knew it was God.
Yeah. Because, yeah, it was God. because not that I could see him, but it was God's light. I was definitely in the presence of God, for sure.
Did you just intuitively know that, or?
Yeah. It wasn't like he declared that, but I knew it. Like, you just know it. You know every fiber in your body that's what that is. That's who that is. But everything around you is like so beautiful. It is. I still struggle to find words because there aren't any.
Yeah, there aren't.
To really explain it, but it was awesome and beautiful. And as it got closer to me, like, it was so beautiful. I didn't want to take my eyes off of it, but I also didn't want to look at it either. I felt like, bashful or something. I don't know. Like, I was excited. I still had that like excitement, like that child. Like, I felt like a child again. I was really alive, and I felt this love and this just overwhelming sense of belonging and love and peace and all the things that I'm sure you've heard. But that was real. Like, there was just no question. It was just so real and infectious, and like, you don't ever want to be away from that kind of feeling.
Right.
But in the same sense, you're so humbled by something so powerful. Like, you feel the power and I don't know the word, but it feels massive. And
just the magnificence of the presence.
Yeah, it's unlike, there's nothing like it. There's nothing I've ever felt like that, ever. Not even like a glimpse of it, not even a tiny bit. It's just so extraordinary, being just in the presence of God. And he hasn't even said anything to me. This is just me being me in the presence of God. It was awesome and humbling and all kinds of emotions. And when he got to me, he spoke to me, and he didn't speak like I'm speaking to you. He spoke to me audibly in my heart, in my spirit. And he told me that life back there was about me. He said, love is a choice. I am love. You didn't choose me. I know you because I created you, but you didn't choose me. You missed the boat. So that's the first thing that God said to me, and I was like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that was heavy in the sense of, that's the first thing that God wants you to know, is that you didn't choose him, when I just have been shown the truth. It was a heavy moment for me.
The truth about what?
Everything, that he's real, that heaven is real. He's just shown me all these amazing things. I want to be with him because I know he's real now. I want to be with him forever, and I know that's where I belong. But then he's telling me that life back there was about me, and you didn't choose me.
Did he explain what that meant?
He didn't have to.
You knew?
Mm-hmm.
What did you know?
I mean, essentially, I rejected God a lot. He tried to reach out to me a lot in my life.
Did you see that?
I knew. It wasn't like when he said that, I wasn't shocked. I was hurt that I had chose that. And he was hurt. I could feel his sadness because he wanted me so bad. And that he did create me. I knew I was home, especially when he spoke. It was like an epiphany. I was like, you made me. That I had an epiphany. Or maybe it just, I don't know, but that's when I thought, you made me. And then I felt his hurt because I didn't want him back. And he sacrificed so much for me, and I felt that. And I felt sorry. I was sad that I did that, but I knew immediately, sorry. I knew there was no question. I knew God had tried to reach out to me after I'd experienced all this, and he's saying, you didn't choose me. I knew. I knew that he had tried to reach me a lot.
And you had not
reciprocated it. And I started to repent and just I dropped down to my knees and I just told him I was sorry. And I just couldn't believe I was in a position that I did that to myself. That I'm finding that God is real, and he did like a separation. Like, I didn't see him, but I felt him do this to me. Like, I'm sorry, like.
But you felt his hurt in that?
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he was saying, how did you?
You so bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you saw the times when he had pursued you? What?
There was a time, there was a thing called SOS my school had. And the Holy Spirit was heavily there. In fact, me and my brother, we both felt it. It was one of the times that the Holy Spirit was very heavy, that it affected me, but then I rejected.
It was like a student thing?
Yeah, at school.
And you heard the message?
Yeah, I heard it, and it made me emotional, and I felt like God wanted me to get saved, but I didn't do it. My brother did, but I did. And there was moments like that where God 100% wanted me. He reached for me a lot. He was tapping my shoulder. He chased after me. He really did. And I just didn't reciprocate it out of my own anger or my own worldliness, And so I'm learning the ramifications of what happens when you do that, and that was hard.
I mean, looking back now, because you do love Jesus and you are right with him. What do you think was going on in your head during that time, in your heart?
I mean, I was sorry, truly. I felt.
No, I mean in those times when you rejected him.
Anger. Mm-hmm. I think I was just. It's hard to say because some of it was sadness, some of it was confusion, some of it was like, why do I feel this way? What everybody else believes in God. Am I supposed to believe in God? I don't know. It just feels like a lot. I'm confused. Some of it was just selfishness, like That's heavy. I don't like to talk about anything heavy. I don't want to deal with that. There was a lot of
So
times.
just kind of shutting down on it and
Every time.
not dealing with it. Well,
Exactly.
I've said this to you, but I think a lot of why he said that to you was not so much for you, but for others who will hear this, who maybe have just been going along like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was me.
God, I don't know. That was me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was me at your age.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm doing fine. I don't need God.
Yeah. Like, what is he?
And if there is a God, I'm good. I'll get the pass.
And I did say that. I said, I'm a good person. So, if there's a God, that has to be good enough.
But I think a really important thing that you said to me as well before was, it wasn't that he was rejecting you.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that?
Yeah. I knew it was my own choices. It wasn't like I was shocked by my choices. I was sad that I didn't listen. And he was sad, probably sadder to have to separate from me. And that's what it felt. When he said that to me, I went from feeling on top of the world, the best day of my life, to immediately the worst day of my life. Because I knew I was going to be apart from him. Whatever that meant, I didn't know, but I didn't like that feeling of apartness from him. I didn't want to do that. And he was heartbroken. And I repented for what felt like a long time. I didn't want to make any excuses. And I guess I'd accepted, maybe I deserve to be apart from you. I get it, or something. But I just told him how sorry I was. And he said, you've impacted, is what he said. You've impacted enough of my people that I've heard their prayers for you, and I'm actually going to let you go back.
You've impacted enough of my people. I've heard their
prayers for you. And I was all, okay.
So they wow, that chokes me up.
Mm-hmm.
They loved you. You'd been kind to them.
Mm-hmm.
They had prayed for you, and God heard them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to give you another chance.
The power of prayer, it saved me. And the craziest part about it is, on earth, nobody even knew I was dying yet. So that was a future that he had already seen happening. And what did end up happening is my community pulled through for me, prayed for me, had prayer chains. My community showed up for me with, here I am thinking I'm not loved. I was very loved. It saved my life. So he let me go back, and before I came back, he said to me, "You'll never be able to be perfect." Okay.
Why do you think he says it?
I don't really know why he said that, but I know that I'm very hard on myself, and I have perfectionist tendencies, and probably the same reason why it's taken me 14 years to tell his story, because I'm not good enough or perfect enough.
Yeah.
So I think he knew I was going to struggle with that, and
send it to you in love.
Out of love. A gift,
A gift. Don't put that on yourself. You're not going to be able to be perfect.
And so I got my family together.
It's time.
Mm-hmm.
What?
To talk, yeah. And so I knew what he meant when he said it was time. So I got my family together and I told my family for the first time what happened. And that was very interesting, and a lot of tears and, healing in a lot of ways. And that was really the start of me trying to have the courage to tell my testimony. And it's been a long journey. It's been 14 years. I mean, exactly 7 years later. And God spoke again and he said, I need you to speak, or stop asking me if you want to help people, because you're not really about it if you don't tell my story.
Mm-hmm. And that was the week I found you had just posted something, and I found it, and my wife reached out to you.
Yep.
And you're like,
here we go.
We have to do it live. And I'm like, okay, let's figure out a way.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you want or how or you, whatever, but this is what is.
You felt like he said that to you? You need to do it live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I'm like, he's put it on my heart that I'm supposed to be there, be with you, be with whoever.
I think it's because it has less to do with the video.
Yeah.
And more to do with relationship. And
probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably exactly that.
Well, Riley, I have no doubt whatsoever, that the reason God sent you back is because he knew you were going to accept him right away. And he didn't want you to reject him. But I think also he has raised you up to be a testimony to your generation. I mean, you're my daughter's age. That's why I keep tearing up too, because I just imagine, all you've been through. But he loves you. You know that.
Yeah.
You know how much he does. And he didn't want to live in that sadness any more than you did.
No.
And that's not going to be the future. But I think even more important, he loves every person just like he loves you.
Yeah. It's not just
me.
And
he doesn't want anyone. So many people I see today, and I know because I was one of them. And especially when you're young, you're like, I don't have to think about death.
Yeah.
That's like
decades. Yeah, that's
you don't know.
Later on in life, that's not true.
You don't know.
It's not true.
Nobody knows. And
no day is guaranteed.
Yeah, no day is guaranteed. But also, I think what you found is, but why do you want to miss out on the best thing that there's ever been?
100%. Because it's a real life. It's not just up in somewhere in the clouds or whatever people think. I don't know. I don't even know what I thought, but it's a place and it's real, and he wants us all there. He loves all of us so much. And I felt that, a glimpse of that. Mm-hmm. And we all should try to be living in that for eternity.
Yeah. If there was one last thing you could say to people who will watch this, the Rileys or others, the world, what would you tell them?
Don't miss that boat. There's something really beautiful and not scary and amazing that's waiting for us if you want it. It's your choice.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
I'd advise getting on that boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time and sharing.
I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. And I appreciate what you're doing and helping people like me